Top 5 exercises to boost your health span after 60. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of Live Wiser, Not Smarter. In the last video, I shared with you this new Stanford study that 60 is the new turning point for aging. Therefore, we need to pay attention to after reaching the age 60. And I talked about one exercise, which is stair walking, which was recommended by Dr. Takuji Shirasawa, who is a Japanese longevity expert. Now, so he said if you are to choose one exercise, this was something he would recommend. So what about me? What exercise would I recommend? Now, I actually think of various exercises, diversity is the key. So I have a set of exercises that are good for increasing your health span. But most people are busy. Most people don't have time to do all those exercises. Plus, you don't have a mental capacity to kind of focus. So if you have one exercise that you can do, that is simple and easy. And that was the whole idea of the last video, wasn't it? So what about me? If I were to recommend one single exercise, what exercise would I recommend? So that's something I'm going to talk about today, that I will give you top 5 exercise to increase your health span after the age 60. And then I will pick 5 exercises among the following 10 exercises. 1 is jogging, 2, yoga, 3, strength training, 4, qi-gong, 5, tennis or any kind of racket sports such as badminton, pickleball, cycling, mountain hiking, Nordic walking, and HIIT. So out of those 10 exercises, which exercise I think are the top 5 in terms of increasing your health span? Now, this is based on my opinion, by the way. So what I think, it's not based on kind of scientific research or anything like that. But it's not necessarily my favorite 5. This is something what I think are the best for the people in general who are over 60 to choose to increase health span in terms of durability, effectiveness, and so on. So to do that, you need to think about increasing health span. What areas do you need to look into if you think about increasing your health span? I think there are 2 areas. One is disease prevention, and next, injury prevention. So how can you prevent diseases and injury? For the disease prevention, the common exercise is VO2 max exercise or aerobic exercise. Now, according to Dr. Peter Attia, VO2 max is the best indicator of your cardiovascular fitness, which is the best indicator of your health or when you look at the health span, and that is the key figure to look into. So how to increase VO2 max is the key. And then usually aerobic exercises in general are considered to be good for improving your VO2 max. And how about injury prevention? Muscle strength, bone strength, flexibility, and balance are all important. Therefore, I have 4 pillars of my exercise, which are low intensity cardio, zone 1 to zone 2, high intensity cardio, zone 4 to zone 5, strength training, body weight for the muscles and bones, flexibility training, stretching, balance, joint and finger rotation, and posture correction. Now, usually I would recommend doing all 4. Even you don't have time to do all of them, better to do, all of them than just doing one single. So just even if you spend only 10 minutes on each exercise, it's good to, diversify. Good to have diversity in your exercise routine. Do a little bit of everything. That's something I recommend. However, most people don't have time to do that. And as I said before, most people don't have a mental capacity to kind of remember everything or to sort of focus everything. It's so much easier to pick one exercise. All you need to do is just one. Therefore, today I'm choosing just one exercise. And so what would be the top 5? Now, before that, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe to this channel so that you won't miss my videos. So I'll be talking about this kind of thing twice a week. So if you're interested in increasing your health span, please subscribe. Thank you. Okay, so what are the top 5 exercises? Number 5, strength training. Yes, muscle training. Usually strength trainings are good for the bones as well. It's good for the muscle strength, but for the bones too. It is a great exercise to prevent from falling, especially for the lower body, and therefore leg workout, such as squat or heel raise, step ups. Yeah, those are the type of strength training I recommend because you work on your legs, which becomes important for preventing injuries. You can do some upper body exercises too, such as push-ups, sit-ups, or pull-ups. Pull-ups is great. Yeah, because it's a good grip strength training too. Or just hanging on the bar itself is great. Or doing chin-up. Yeah. So whatever you can is fine. But if you don't have time to do all of them, then focus on the lower body, leg workout. And then make sure you do stretching at the end of your workout. Number 4, qi-gong. Qigong is great. It is a great strength training too. Now, you may not think of Qigong as a strength training, but you can train your legs a lot while practicing Qigong because you practice Qigong while standing. So you do for 20 or 30 minutes of your exercise, and during that time you're standing. So it can be quite strenuous. And sometimes you stand on one leg, which becomes a good balance training, but also can apply quite a lot of pressure or stress on your leg. And you sort of not squat, but sort of halfway, you kind of bend your knees a little bit. So it does. I mean, your legs get very tired at the end of your Qigong practice. And it is training in motion, not like strength training where you sit or stand still and then you focus on one muscle, you tense up one particular muscle. Qigong is training in motion. So you kind of tense up your muscle too, but also you relax your muscle, you loosen your muscle. It is more holistic in that sense. And lastly, Qigong is an exercise to develop your ki energy or qi energy in Chinese, which means life force. Life force is the most critical factor in well-being in the Oriental medicine. It's not talked about a lot in the Western medicine. However, in the East, it is the most important thing. So it is even more important than VO2 max. If you're to think about your health, vitality, and well-being, definitely you need to improve your ki energy, or you need to maintain your ki energy. You need to activate your ki energy. And Qigong exercise is precisely for that. However, one drawback of Qigong is most people don't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. So you have to learn, you have to take a course or watch YouTube videos or something. Fortunately, now there are tons of YouTube videos. Therefore, it is quite easy to learn how to do it. Yet still, it takes some time to learn the postures and movement before you can do it smoothly. So it's not something you can start doing tomorrow. Okay, so what is number 3 then? It's jogging. Jogging, on the other hand, is easy to do. You don't need to learn how to do it. Most people have done jogging one time or other in your lifetime, and you can do it. You can start doing tomorrow. I mean, of course, to learn the correct forms and things, maybe you need to watch some YouTube videos or something. But if you're not technical about it, then anyone can do it. And it is a fantastic aerobic exercise. It is one of the best exercises to improve your VO2 max because mostly you are doing zone 2 training. Some people, depending on people, for some people, it can be zone 3, but if you run slowly, then often it becomes zone 2. And if you continue doing it for a long time, it's a great exercise to improve your VO2 max. And it can be a strength training because you are running on your legs. So it's a good leg workout. You feel muscle tension while you're jogging. And often I get tired. My legs get very tired after jogging, which means I did use my leg muscles. And it's a good bone exercise too. For any kind of strength training, it's good for the bones too. They're good for both muscles and bones. But with the jogging, you have an extra benefit, which is weight-bearing exercise. When you land on the ground, the impact you get, that is weight-bearing exercise, and that is good for the bones. So weight-bearing exercise is jogging, walking, tennis, and or basketball, or any kind of exercise that you do kind of bouncing is good. So jogging has this benefit as well. And at the end of your jogging, if you do some jumping, it is even better. I usually do this sort of vertical jump 10 times after jogging, which gives you further impact when you run. So it is good bone exercise. Plus, you stretch your back, you stretch your spine, and it gives slightly more strain. So it becomes other exercise. Or you can do a kind of sprinting, or not necessarily zone 5, but like sort of zone 4-ish fast running at the end of your jogging. That is also good. And then, of course, you want to do stretching at the end of your workout. The drawback of jogging is it is still workout. You need to make time to go jogging. You need to decide to go jogging, which is difficult for most people. You have to get changed and you have to put on your running shoes and you have to have a strong will to do it. That is why many people cannot continue after a few days. So that is the problem. So number 2, because of that, I chose cycling. Because unlike jogging, cycling is something you can combine with your daily activities. You don't need to make it your workout. You don't need to make extra time for cycling. You can just cycle to go to the store or go to the library or even go to work. In fact, if you can commute by bicycle, that is the best way because you commute to work every day. So you get to cycle every day. It's a great exercise and then it is sustainable. It's good for the environment, but it's something you can continue every day because you have to do it. Combining exercise and commuting is the best way for most people. Some people can find time to work out, but many people are busy. So if you can squeeze your exercise time into your daily routine, that is the best way. Even if you don't commute by bicycle, if you decide to use bicycle to go to the store or wherever you go, you just go by bicycle, it becomes a good exercise. That's how I started my exercise routine. In the beginning, I didn't do Nordic walking or jogging or anything. I started cycling. I started using bicycle instead of my car or to go shopping or to go to the post office. And then it was quite frequent because I went grocery shopping about 3 times a week and I went to the post office once or twice a week. So I ended up, cycling 5 days a week and so on. So that was how I started and I could continue doing it because it was something I had to do. Then later, I incorporated Nordic walking into my routine. Then I started jogging and so on. But cycling was the beginning, and it was that I could do it because it was easy to do. One drawback of cycling is it's not a weight-bearing exercise, so it doesn't have the same kind of benefit as the jogging or walking does. But it can be a strength training for the leg muscle. So therefore, for that part, it can train your bones too. So, which exercise is number one then? I suppose you probably guessed now. Yes, it is walking. In the same way as cycling, walking is something you can combine with your daily activities. You can walk to go anywhere. You can walk to the post office, you can walk to the nearest store, or you can even walk to work. But for most people, probably it's too far to walk to work. But if you use public transportation, then you do a lot of walking. You walk to the train station, and then at the train station, maybe there are some stairs, so you can walk up and down the stairs. Or you can decide to take time to go walking. And walking is fun and it's easier than jogging. I incorporated Nordic walking after cycling. And the reason was because it was the second easiest. It was much easier than jogging. I did try going jogging a few times, but I gave up after a few days. It was a little too hard for me, but walking was something I could enjoy. And if you aim to walk, 8,000 steps a day. And that is wonderful. And then you don't need to cover this in one walk. You can kind of divide the steps into several times within a day. So maybe in the morning you walk for 3,000 steps, and then in the afternoon you do 2,000. And then, so as long as you end up walking 8,000 steps, that is fine. And then it's quite easy if you kind of pay attention, you become conscious of walking a lot. Wherever you go, you try to walk. When you go to the shop, when you go shopping, for example, you park the car slightly far away from the entrance, then you walk to the entrance, and inside the store, you walk a lot. And so on. And you can even walk inside the house. You can go to many rooms, so you can even go to your yard and come back and so on. That can add some steps too. Also, walking can become a great meditation. During jogging, you can kind of meditate too, but it is more difficult. I find it is so much easier to do it while walking. So I always practice Shinyon Kansha meditation, which is to appreciate to appreciate things that you feel grateful for happening every day. To feel happy about your daily situations, your present moment. And then even when I go jogging, when I practice this, I stop and I walk. I switch to walking because it's easier to do. Therefore, I personally think walking has a better effect on your mental health and brain health. People say exercise in general is good for your brain, but I find especially walking has a great benefit to the brain. It's a source of inspiration. I am a writer. I used to write novels, and during walking, always I received so many inspirations, and it was stimulating my brain a lot. You can also do IWT, which is interval walking training. So you walk slowly for about 3 minutes, then you switch to brisk walking for 3 minutes, and you repeat that several times. So it's like a HIIT, interval training, and it is a great training to improve your VO2 max. For the detail of IWT, please watch my other video called Forget 4x4. This workout from Nagano may be better for over 60s. I put the link in the description box. So you don't need to do IWT everywhere, but in your walking route, just maybe part of the way you can practice this, and then you can kind of add variation to your walking if your general walking wasn't strenuous enough for you. And if there are some stairs on the route, then you can add more stress You can walk up and down the stairs, and you can go country walk or city walking. Great thing about walking is you can do it anywhere. Anywhere you can walk. Okay, so those are the top 5 exercise that I think are good for people over 60 to practice to improve your health span. Now, why other 5 didn't get in? Now, other 5 are fantastic too, but I will just give you a short answer to each one. HIIT. Now, HIIT is considered to be one of the best exercises to increase longevity and health span and everything. And if you have time and energy, I recommend it very much. I practice HIIT too. Actually, I do a kind of a body weight strength HIIT. But for most people, it's a little too strenuous because you are training in your zone 4 or zone 5. It's a kind of hard exercise. And just like jogging or strength training, you have to find time. You have to make time. You have to be determined to exercise. That is why I didn't include in the top 5. But some HIIT exercises such as Tabata, it takes only 4 minutes. So it is easy. I mean, you have to find time, but only 4 minutes. If you do it at home, then just squeeze 4 minutes in your schedule. It shouldn't be too difficult. Yoga. Now, yoga is another great exercise to improve or maintain your ki energy or chi energy in Chinese and prana in India. The reason I chose qi-gong over yoga is because qi-gong is a training while you are standing. Yoga is, there may be some poses where you can do while standing, but most of them you're sort of sitting down or lying down. Therefore, you have a extra leg workout aspect when you practice qigong, and that was important to prevent from falling and so on. But otherwise, I recommend yoga very much. It's a fantastic exercise, fantastic flexibility and breathing exercise. It's a great meditation. It has a spiritual benefit too. And mountain hiking. Now, mountain hiking is a wonderful spiritual exercise too. However, it's not something you can do regularly, is it? Unless you live very close to the mountains. Most people, it's not something you can do every day. Some people go mountain hiking regularly. In Japan, there are people who go mountain hiking every weekend. So if you're one of those people who don't work out during the week, but only on the weekend, maybe mountain hiking is one option for you. But otherwise, it's better to do your exercise more than once a week, at least few times a week. So in that sense, I didn't include it. How about Nordic walking then? It's something you can do more frequently. And then Nordic walking is something I talk about a lot, don't I? In fact, yeah, I think this is the best exercise. I probably would put a number 1 if it's my personal exercise. But for many people, again, Nordic walking is an exercise. You have to make time. You have to decide to go Nordic walking because you're carrying poles, not like walking. Regular walking is very casual. You don't need to think about anything. You just go to the store. You just go to work. That's it. But with Nordic walking, because you carry poles, there's a sort of element of working out. But by the way, carrying pole is important because that makes your back straight. It gives you a good posture so you can walk with your spine straight, which is very important. So in that sense, I recommend Nordic walking more than regular walking. But for most people, to make it very casual, everyday activity, regular walking is easier. And how about tennis, racket sport in general? Tennis is a wonderful exercise. It's aerobic. It has a strength training element, especially for the leg workout. And weight bearing exercise too. Therefore, it's good for the bones. one drawback of tennis is you have to have other people to play with, which is a good thing because you have a social aspect. But sometimes it's difficult to find people to play with, or if you don't have a tennis club in your neighborhood or in your community, it's difficult. And sometimes arranging schedule with your friends is not always easy. But if you can work out by yourself, then you can do it anytime. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening, you can do it during your lunch break. So in that sense, I selected other exercises that you can do on your own. But otherwise, tennis is a wonderful exercise. Therefore, it's all up to you. It all depends on your situation, your environment. For example, if you live near the mountains, then you can go mountain hiking often, or whether you can cycle easily in your neighborhood or not, and then whether you have a tennis court nearby and so on. So, of course, you can pick one exercise that is doable, easy to do, and effective at the same time. So you will probably come up with different top 5 exercises. So the idea is to find one exercise that is suitable to you. And you don't need to choose one exercise. As a matter of fact, you can do all those 5 exercises in a week. For example, you can do strength training on Monday, and then you can do qi-gong on Tuesday, jogging on Wednesday, cycling on Thursday, and walking on Friday. That is one way of doing it. And of course, if you have time and determination to do, I do recommend covering 4 pillars of my exercise as much as possible. For details, please read my book, Chapter 5, The Ideal Exercise to Increase Health Span. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya, the author of Live Wiser, Not Smarter. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel. And please leave your comment. What are the top 5 exercises for you? Thank you. Well, I will see you in the next video. Live with your Ikigai!